everyone, welcome or welcome back. I'm Bronte, my name's Bronte, and this is going to be a knitting video. Yeah, I was supposed to do this a few weeks ago and I've kind of been procrastinating it a little bit. So here I am, I'm doing it. It kind of seems like a better time of year. I guess you've seen because you've like clicked to watch this video, but it's going to be about knitting pants for the summer. I have a stack of stuff here to talk about. So yeah, I feel like quite a lot of people might stop knitting over the summer. I don't know if that's the case. Maybe you're like me and you knit no matter what the weather is, or what time of year it is. But yeah, I don't know, I feel like this, I don't know, something, lots of people kind of, I mentioned this in a previous video about if people would want me to do a summer knitting video, and lots of people said they would. So I don't know, maybe people just, maybe you would just like some inspiration, maybe that's what it is. I hope I can, I hope I can give that to you. So yeah, that's what we're going to talk about. I hope that's interesting for you. I have a little list here. So what we're going to do is I'm going to run through these items that I have here. And then I'm going to talk about some sorts of yarns, and then yeah, that's it. that was not that deep. I don't want this to be like a really long video, honestly, because I don't think it needs to be a really long video. Oh, I also have two, like a magazine and a book to show you, so I'll show you those. But yeah, I don't think it really needs to be a super long video. I think what will be useful potentially for you is I'm gonna put tons of links in the description. So I'll link every single pattern I mention, and I will also link I will link to my Ravelry favorites list, because I do bundles on Ravelry. I don't know if you know, I don't know how many people do that, but you can essentially bundle your favorites. So I have like a summer like tops favorites list on Ravelry, which I tend to reference this time of year every time this time of year rolls around, you know. So I will link to that as well, and you can, because there's obviously, I've got so many more things in that favorites list than I have personally made. So yeah, I think that maybe that's useful. And yeah, and then yarns. Some yarns are things I have knitted with, and some yarns are things that I haven't. So yeah, okay, I'm just gonna drink some water. Okay, let's put that there, but okay, so the weather's very strange today. It was pouring with rain this morning, and now it's kind of brightened up, so I'm filming now because it's like 3:30 something. But maybe it's gonna get dark, and if it does, I apologize. I'll try and go fast. Okay, so let's talk about these things that I actually have here. So number one is this. These have all also been folded in my drawer, so I feel like they look slightly like not their best. This is, it's like a pea green, and like the colour was called lavender, I think, but it's not really lavender. Oh, what did I just do to my fringe? So this is called Riley. This is by Amy Christophers, and it was in the Ultimate Summer issue of Pom Pom, which is summer 2018. I have it here, and I'll talk about it in a second. So yeah, Riley Tea. This pattern, as it's written in the magazine, has a V-neck, but I don't wear V-necks. I just don't think they suit me. I don't really like them. So I modified the pattern to have a round neck, and I really can't remember what I did because I made this nearly 3 years ago. I think I might have done the same, basically like the instructions for the back and the front the same, but started the back part, started it kind of lower down for the front, if that makes any sense. I think I basically kind of tried it on as I went. Yeah, I'm really sorry that's not very helpful. If you really want to know, leave me a comment and I will try and find the notes that I made, and I'll maybe be a bit more clear. I should have looked them up already. Soz. Let me know if you want to know. So yes, this is knitted in a DK weight pure cotton, like 100% cotton. It's a Rico one. I'm not sure. I'm honestly like quite a few of these things are knitted in a Rico cotton and I wouldn't recommend it. Yeah, I just used the Rico cotton because it was what was available to me at the time, but honestly I don't think it's very good quality, and I think there are much better things out there that I have since discovered, so I wouldn't necessarily recommend it. I mean, it is a good price, so that does recommend it in a way, but why is this little piece of hair not behaving? I just don't think the Rico is that good in terms of quality, so yes. But this is a very nice t-shirt. I actually think that I don't think I ever wet blocked this because I was worried about the garter stitch stretching out of shape, but since I made this, I'm now a bigger size than I was when I made this top, so I think I do need to wet block it, and then hopefully I'll get some more wear out of it. So, Riley tee, and it's like a log cabin type thing, all garter stitch, like it's really simple, and it's knitted in pieces as well, so yeah, like a back and the fronts. Yeah, I honestly, guys, I can't really remember how I knitted this, but I think yeah, I think it is all seamed. Yeah, I think it's all seamed. I'm not very prepared. Okay, let's move on from this mystery. Put that down there. Okay, so the next thing I have to show you is the Annie tee from the same issue of Pom Pom. This is also knitted in the same cotton. Is it even the same purple? I think it's the same purple because I had it left over. Yeah, this is the Annie tee by Gina Rockenwagner. Also, yeah, in Rico Cotton DK. I had this in my stash for something else and I like kind of spur of the moment decided to cast this cotton version of Annie on. I have two other versions of this pattern, both in wools, but I love it so much that I decided to make a cotton one. So that's this. Yeah, I'm not sure I would like personally choose these colors again. I think the grey is kind of dull. So maybe I should try and like over dye it or something. I think that could be cool. Maybe with like an olive green or something. See what happens. You know. It is soft. I did wet block this one, I think. Again, this is knitted flat and then you seam this down the sides. So the only thing that's knitted in the round is the neckband. But yeah, I think this is such a nice like breezy top. Also, I think I may have made this shorter. I don't remember. Please leave me a comment if you want more details and I'll try and find notes for stuff. But yeah, I would really recommend this pattern. Like, I would actually recommend the entire issue. I've made 3 things from the issue. Okay, so the third thing I've made from the issue is the Tarmac Tank by Anna Maltz, and I made that I would say I made it when the issue came out, so in 2018, so that's like 5 years ago. It just does not fit, or it did not fit me, so I actually donated it to a charity shop. I hope somebody out there is wearing my Tarmac Tank very happily, but it just didn't really fit me anymore, and I love the shape of it. So I'll put a picture on the screen of what the Tarmac Tank looks like. I have loads of stuff in my stash that I could use for another. It just uses 4-ply, and I think because it's such like a breezy, like swingy shape, it's okay to do in wools. And like I think it's fun for like a kind of patterned sock wool or something, you know, like a speckly sock wool. and then like a solid. I have all sorts of stuff that I could use. So maybe I will cast one on soon, actually. I've been really dragging my heels with summer knitting because I don't want it to be summer. If you know me at all, you know that I despise the summer. Like, I really like it being light out for like light into the evening, and I like it being really light in the mornings. I love the sun shining. I just hate the temperature. I really struggle with the hot weather in London. I won't go on about it, but like it's absolutely awful in London when it's really hot. Like last year we had 40 degrees Celsius, and like our city is not set up for it. We don't have aircon anywhere. Yeah, it was awful. And I'm just like anticipating that for this summer, so the thought of knitting things for the summer makes me like have to face the fact that summer is coming. I know it's really illogical, but yeah, here we are. So that was a little rant about how I hate the summer, even though I've knitted all these things for the summer. Yeah. Oh, I just remembered what I did with the Annie tea that's wrong. Okay. So I didn't work enough repeats in these blocks of stripes. These stripes should be, yeah, okay, so my stripes are 4 stocking stitches high. They should be 6. And so my whole top came out shorter. So I think what I had to do when I realized my mistake, I'd gotten like up to here before I realized what I was doing. I think I just worked more repeats, if that makes sense. So it tells you to repeat the pattern like 6 times or whatever. I must have repeated it like 8. I think I will have worked off of measurements from my previous ones that I had made. So yes, this is technically wrong, but it fits and everything. It didn't affect the width. It was to do with the length, and I was able to alter that fairly easily. So yeah. Okay, so the next thing that I have to show you, I've made 2 of this pattern. This is the Nook by Yona Hitala, who's one of the ladies from Liner magazine. So I've made 2 of these. I made this one first. This is in, I believe this is the 2nd size, and I used Retrosaria Mungo in the colour number 10, which is like a beautiful, what's the word? Marl with 4 different colours in it. It's yellow, brown, grey and cream. I got this colour when it came out as like a new colour, and I still really love it. I think it's very beautiful. So this Nook I think is the 2nd size. Did I already say that? And obviously like I make everything shorter, so the body is significantly shorter than the pattern. But that's what I like to wear, you know. It's much easier to go over like skirts and things in the summer as well. You don't want something really long, or I don't. Okay, and then this one is I think I made the 3rd size of this. This one is knitted in Rico Cotton in the Aran weight. Again, I just wouldn't recommend this. Like, I really love this colour, but when I was knitting with this yarn, it was like shedding all of this dust that I felt like I was like inhaling. It just felt like it was not a very well manufactured yarn, to be honest. And again, I think I'd had it in my stash for ages and I just wanted to use it up, which is why I did use it up. But yeah, felt slightly dicey, you know, because I could like see all this like cottony dust coming off of it, and like it was making me cough when I was knitting. So yeah, I did knit this very fast, so hopefully it didn't, I'm sure it's all fine, you know. But yeah, I made this in a bigger size than the previous one. I think I just wanted more ease, and also like I was like my bust circumference was different from the time that I knitted the other one, so I used the bigger size. And I think this is like a really great basic t-shirt pattern. And then I have some other things that I'll show you that are also great basic t-shirt patterns. So this one is in worsted weight, which is fairly heavy for the summer, you know. I think that these are kind of more spring t-shirts because, you know, if it's 40 degrees Celsius outside, you don't want to be wearing a worsted weight cotton t-shirt because it feels like you're wearing a sweatshirt. So yeah, I feel like I've learned a lot since knitting all of these things because these are kind of older ones, and then the ones that I'm going to show you now are some of my much more newer much newer ones. So these things I have here now I made last year, last summer. So I've shown this on my channel before, but I'm going to show you guys again. This is the Tumble Tea by Lydia Morrow. I love this t-shirt. I really want to make another one in like kind of like this, you know, like a solid color, to wear with, that'll just go with more of my clothes. But I love this yarn. I used Pigment and Ply. It's her like superwash sock base, so it's like 25 nylon, 75 superwash merino, and it's one of her colorways it's called the Wine of Circe. It's like one of her Greek mythology ones, which kind of partly sold me on it, to be honest. So yeah, this t-shirt is really nice to wear, and I think Lydia's, whatever they did with the grading, like it fits really well in the raglan. It is like it looks tiny, right? It's like a fitted t-shirt. It doesn't have, it's meant to be worn actually with negative ease. It doesn't have any positive ease at all. I think mine has like maybe like 0 in of like, there's no, like it's exactly the same size as my bust, or maybe like 1 inch of negative ease. No more than that. Yeah, I think, yeah, this is really nice, and you do need something that's stretchy, so this is definitely one you should use wool for. I've been eyeing up the onion sock yarn for this, which is wool with nettle fibre instead of nylon. So like nettle fibre behaves like linen. It's shiny, it's drapey, and obviously linen is very cooling against your skin, so I think it would be really good for summer. I just have been putting it off because I don't really want to knit a 4-ply garment because I have another 4-ply garment on my needles. So yeah, I'll knit another one. I don't know if you have noticed, I'm a big like pattern repeater. If I find a pattern I really like, I'll knit multiples. Yeah, I don't know, I think you can really change something by using a different yarn. Like if I knitted this in a solid colour, I think it would look completely different to how this one looks. Okay, so next we have this one. Another really simple t-shirt. This is the Mio Mighty by Park Williams. This uses DK weight. I knitted mine in this really nice like buttery yellow colour. This is, it's a discontinued Rowan cotton. It's Egyptian cotton, so it feels quite like silky and it's got a bit of a shine to it. And it was plant dyed. I found it on sale somewhere like after it was discontinued, and I still have a couple of balls left of it. I think maybe I need to knit something else. I don't know. I don't have enough for a garment, but I've got enough for something like 150 grams. Yeah, and it's a really pretty colour. So this is the Mio Mighty by Park Williams. It's got like a short row sleeve cap. You can see here this chunk of short rows, and it's just got like really simple like rolled hems. The neckband did have ribbing on it, but I think honestly I didn't really check my gauge because I was so keen to cast on, and my gauge was obviously different to the pattern, and if I had put the neckband on, it would have made the head hole too small, because I didn't have as much length here as the designer stipulated. So my neckline is a bit higher, I think, than the pattern is supposed to be. So I just left it with the raw edge, but the way that she does the decreases, like it looks really neat. So I think, you know, it's fine with that raw edge. And it matches all the other edges. So I'm happy with it. Again, I think this is one I would definitely knit this again, but I would maybe use a darker color. I think one of the samples she has is in black, which I think could be cool. I don't actually have many black clothes, but I do tend to wear quite a lot. Well, I wear quite a lot of black t-shirts. So yeah, or like a navy blue or something could be really nice. I think I've seen on Ravelry somebody make it with a 4-ply linen. So it's a bit, you know, the stitches are more like meshy, more open. And that looked really pretty. So that could be cool. I don't think you need very much linen at all, like, yeah, like small quantity, because it would go very far, right? So yeah, food for thought. Let's put that one down here. Okay, and then this one is my favorite that I've ever made. This is the Twofer Tank by Heidi Kermeyer. So it's called Twofer because it's like 2 for 1. The pattern has the square neck on one side and then a V-neck on the other side. When I saw the pattern, you know, you can wear it reversibly. And when I saw the pattern, I immediately fell in love with this square neck, and I thought, I'll just modify the pattern and not do the V side, because I'm never going to wear the V, you know, the V-neck to the front. Like I said earlier, I just don't like V-necks. So I modified this to have the square neck on both sides. I believe what I did was I just kind of, the straps are twice as long, or like I knitted, I think here it should have been, I kind of winged it, honestly. Like if I'd knitted it as the pattern, it would have been right up here, like way too tight under my armholes. Under my armholes? Under my armpit. So the armholes would have been too tight. So I knitted double what they said in the pattern of the strap. It's got like a Judy's Magic cast on in here. Or well, mine's down here. But yeah, I'm not explaining this very well. Again, if you want to know about my notes or like know my modifications, just let me know. I did write them down again somewhere. I haven't looked them up for this video because I've been very disorganized. But the long and the short of it is I basically used the square neck pattern for the front and for the back. So mine's completely reversible. It's the same both sides. The pattern has this like lovely built-in I-cord edge, so you don't have to go back and pick up any edges or anything. And it's got like a garter rib hem, and then this rib on the front here is also like a garter rib. And this I knitted in Fonty Bohème, which is one of the yarns that we carry at work. It's 65% cotton and 35% linen. This is one of my favorite summer yarns, so I'll get around to talking about yarns as well, but I will say now that I totally recommend this. I've chucked this in the washing machine and it's so nice. Like, if anything, it got slightly shorter, but because it's like a plant fiber, right, I can just kind of stretch it out a bit. Look, stretched out. There we go. Look, it's gotten longer. Yeah, it's such a nice yarn. It's nice to wear when it's very hot, and it was really nice to knit with. It's got a lot of yardage. It's got 125 meters to 50 grams, which would suggest it's much more of a sport weight, but it knits great at a DK weight gauge. Sorry, I should have said this pattern is for DK. And I used a 4mm needle. I think this is where I joined a new ball. Sorry, it looks a bit gross there. Whatever. Okay, so that's the Twofer Tank. And then my last one is the Ingrid top. This is by Gregoria Fibers. This is also knitted in Fonty Bohème. The yarn that she recommended for the pattern, I personally felt was way too heavy for the design and the gauge that she said. I thought it would have come out really densely. So I used a DK weight. I think she might have specified a worsted weight, but I used DK. So this, I really like this top too. I knitted this really fast last year because I was really enjoying knitting it. It's got these lovely like folded edges around the neck and the hem, and then it has this, I believe it was called like a Russian bind off for the armholes, which I think it looks nice. It's kind of slightly like a textured bind off somehow. And it rolls ever so slightly. I think it sets the garment off nicely. I think I got quite a lot of wear out of this last summer. I picked pink, which is not really a colour I would wear, or a colour I would normally wear, but it was nice in the summer. And I have a really nice summer skirt that I wear a lot, which is black with white polka dots, and this looked really nice with that. So yeah. Okay. Those are the things that I have knitted for the summer. This is getting kind of long. This is not, I didn't want it to be so long. I'm just gonna drink some water. Okay, so I have these two things here to show you as well. This is the Summer Stripes issue of Pom Pom. It's Summer 2018 issue, what is that, 25? Wow, they're on like 43 or 44 now. I've been buying Pom Pom for so long. So I personally think this is one of the best ever issues of Pom Pom. I've knitted 3 things from it. I've knitted the Riley Tea, the Annie 3 times, and the Tarmac Tank. Oh, I can show you a picture of Tarmac in here too, and you can, I will have already put it on the screen, but whatever, I'm going to show you as well. So here's the picture of it in the issue. I just think it's such a great issue. There was so many nice summer patterns in here, and everything's stripy, and I love stripes. So yeah, I think I would recommend this. You can buy it as like an ebook on Ravelry. Have a look and see what you think of the patterns. But yeah, I think if there's at least 3 things I've knitted in here, and actually out of those 3 patterns I have 5 garments. So yeah, and hopefully if I make another Tarmac I'll have a 6th, so it's totally worth the money in my opinion. Okay, so I've also showed this on my channel before. This is A Knitter's Year. It's this lovely big hardback book. Oh, the sun's come out suddenly. This has lots of nice summer tops in it, including the one on the cover. They're by the woman who's behind Witre Design. Her name, what is her name? Ida. I'm not gonna pronounce her Norwegian name because I'm not gonna do it justice. But yeah, I've got some tabs in it, and there's some things I want to make. I think the first thing I want to make is the Western tee. Yeah, but all of these are also available on her Ravelry, so if there's like one thing that you see you know, from the book, then I think they're all available as single patterns. It's just like this is kind of a collection. So yes, that's those. Okay, one more thing I want to talk about is just the yarns. I have my notes here. So I think what I should just say is like what I would look for in a yarn for the summer. I would say like a cotton linen blend or cotton hemp, anything that's kind of like got a bit of something linen-y in it, I think is much nicer to wear than a pure cotton. I think pure cotton yarn can feel a little like a sweatshirt, and when it's really hot, that's just not what you want, right? I think pure linen also fantastic. It does tend to be a lot more expensive, but it's very, very breezy, and it does feel very cool against your skin as a pure linen. So yes. And then also I've written here, I think within reason, superwash wool. I think probably 4-ply only, but because you can throw it in the washing machine if you do get kind of a bit sweaty in it. I think superwash is good, so you can just wash it very easily. And then, so I would definitely recommend the Fonty Bohème. That's a DK weight. And then I would also recommend 2 new things that we've got at the shop by a Portuguese brand called Rosarios 4, like number 4. we've got their For Nature yarn, which is a pure organic cotton. It feels very silky because I don't know why actually. It's just really like, I know I just said no pure cotton, but this I feel is an exception because of it's got a chainette construction, so it's very smooth, not at all kind of like fibrous in any way, and yeah, it feels kind of silky like Egyptian cotton. So yeah, and then also we got one that's it's like a pure cotton again. I'm like shitting on my own like recommendations. It's pure cotton. It's made from recycled denim, and that's very nice. It's kind of nubbly, like slightly textured, but yeah, really nice colors and everything. And then I would also recommend the Retrosaria Mungo, which is 50-50 wool cotton, so it's more of like a spring kind of early autumn yarn, I think. But that's beautiful. And then Derirum Natura also make a cotton wool blend. They have the worsted weight one, which is called Robinson, and then they have like a sport DK weight one called Candide, and those yarns are plant dyed, so the colors are quite pastel-y. Maybe it's not your thing, but the texture of the yarn is really nice. That's 70 wool, 30 cotton, but it feels like it has more cotton in it. I don't know how they've done that, but it feels very cottony. And then one last one I want to talk about is a new yarn that's coming out from Wool Dreamers, who are a Spanish producer. I'm knitting with some of their yarn at the moment, and it's really lovely, and I don't know, their like company ethos is fantastic, so it's a company I would definitely want to support. They are bringing out a yarn in collaboration with the designer Ozetta, who I'm a big fan of her patterns. It's going to be called, how does one pronounce this? It's spelled Saona, Sauna. I believe it's going to be 50% wool, 50% cotton. It's definitely a cotton wool blend. I'm not sure of the percentages because I haven't seen it in real life yet. But it's going to be 4-ply. I think it's going to have 200 meters to 50 grams, so a perfect 4-ply. And it's in some very beautiful kind of like barely there neutral shades. So yes, that's going to be exciting. I definitely want to see that, and I have seen that Hayley, who is the designer, who is Ozetta, I believe she's designing a t-shirt pattern to go along with the yarn and its release. So I'm really excited to see that, and I'm hoping to apply for the test knitting. She hasn't announced it yet, but I'm hoping I can apply because I have all sorts of stuff in my stash I can use. So yeah, that was kind of a rapid fire summer knitting thing. Please do let me know if you have questions. I feel like I've been a bit like disorganized for this video and I haven't prepared properly. I really apologize if that's what's coming across. But yeah, summer knitting, it's kind of like an oxymoron, isn't it? But I think there are things that you can knit in the summer. You can knit with things that are nice even if it's really hot, or you can knit things that are nice to wear even if it's really hot. So yes, as I said earlier, I will link my summer tops like Ravelry list of favorites in the description, and maybe there's so much more stuff on there that I would definitely knit. That's it, you guys. Thank you so much if you've watched this far, for like listening to me ramble on. I was kind of disorganized, but yeah, I will be back next week. I will put a little kind of PSA out there for my like knitting audience. I think I might not do knitting videos on YouTube for a little while. I think honestly I do love talking about knitting, but it's kind of what I do at work, and I'm really enjoying talking about planner stuff and notebooks and stationery and things on this channel, and that's kind of what this channel is for me to talk about the things that I'm really interested in. I did say this in my last video. Yeah, as much as I love knitting, and it's a hobby that I will continue to do, obviously, I'm not sure I will talk about it as much on this channel, so yeah, I'm really sorry if that's disappointing for you. I'm not saying I won't ever talk about it again, but I think that I'm just really into my stationery planner content. It's just kind of making me really happy to talk about, honestly, and that's kind of what I want from this thing, this whole YouTube thing, right? So yeah, I will continue to post on my knitting Instagram, which will be linked in my description. If you want to if you don't follow me there, you could follow me there, because I will continue to post stuff on there. Please let me know if that makes sense to you all. I hope this doesn't sound really garbled and I don't know what, if it sounds like I don't know what I'm talking about. Yeah, I will be back next week, and next week, wait, let's check. I might have run out of things that I've scheduled. Next week I think I might do a planner flip, because I didn't do one for March, and so I'll do March and April in my planners. So stay tuned for that, and I will speak to you all soon. Thank you so much for being here. Bye everyone.